Did you know that in Uganda today, a child can go to bed with a full stomach, but still wake up malnourished? Studies have shown that in a country with some regions boasting plenty to eat and others suffering major food insecurities, some children eat every day, but not what their bodies truly need to grow, learn and thrive.
Good nutrition is when you are eating healthy. And if you're talking children, you're thinking, what's the best fast food that a child should eat? And that's breast milk. It contains everything that a child would need, including proteins, water, vitamins, essential immunoglobulins. So babies start with breast milk. And as babies grow, we would like to see that they get enough protein in there, they have enough carbohydrates to give them energy, but also to have the necessary micronutrients and essential electrolytes. So as children grow even bigger, it's important for them to have a balanced diet. And that's the good nutrition that we talk about.
In this limited series dubbed Nutrition for All, we tell the story of what we feed our children and what it really means to nourish them. Across Uganda, feeding a child looks different in every home. In some families, it's posho and beans. This is simple, filling and familiar. In others, it's mandazi, chips, soda and quick meals on the go. These are different choices, but all parents have the same intention for their child to be healthy.
A nutritious plate of food for a child. So we have, in simple terms, we have foods that we call energy foods. These are basically carbohydrates, matoke rice, Irish potatoes, pumpkin, and the likes. And then we have what we call bodybuilding foods or grow foods in simple terms. These are protein foods, eggs, milk, fish, chicken, groundnuts, beans, peas, soya. Those help the body to grow. And then we have what we call protective foods. These are mainly vegetables and fruits that supply micronutrients. Yes, those are the vitamins and the minerals that the body needs.
But here's the question. Is a full child a healthy child?
That's interesting. And I think that's something that many parents are falling the trap into. So excess, first of all, excess starts from, I want to start from when a child is born, especially when we are bottle feeding. You want a child to finish a bottle, already you're giving excess. A child is full, but you want to empty the bottle, already you're starting with excess. And then we start complementary foods, and a child is taking a bottle and they are eating a lot of carbohydrate. By the carbohydrate is the biggest problem. So they're eating a lot of carbohydrate, and in most cases they're eating refined carbohydrate. Too much rice, too much chapati, too much posho. There we are going to have a problem. So when a child is satisfied, you can tell a child is belching or burping. A child looks relaxed, they are full. But because you made 200 meals, you want that child to empty the bottle. That is where the challenge comes. Let me just say that the stomach is a muscle. When you keep stretching it, it will stretch. So you keep pushing the satiety limits of a child, slowly but surely. This is a child who is picking up unhealthy habits from the word go. You find a teenager who is overeating, you find an adult who is overeating, because it started from way back. So we need to follow satisfaction cues.
The reality is indeed more complex. Nearly 9 in 10 children in Uganda are not receiving diverse and nutritious diets. That means most children are missing out on the variety of foods their bodies need. Foods that build strong brains, strong bodies and strong futures.
Important to note is that these issues are not for one sector, so they are multi-sectoral. And that's the approach that the country has taken to address malnutrition in its forms. But specifically for health, the health sector, we are doing quite a number of programs, and we have a number of policies that we are driving to address this public threat. So top on them is that we actually rank them because we have like two sides. So we have programs that are more preventive. So we want to prevent malnutrition before it even the children are affected or the other population. So top on this, as the health sector, we have the MICAN. MICAN is maternal, infant, young child and adolescent nutrition strategy, which we have run since 2021, and we are actually reviewing this year because it had the 5-year plan period. So under this, we are promoting breastfeeding. We promote dietary diversification, meaning we promote the consumption of a variety of foods for all populations, but in this we target, because we know that most vulnerable populations I have mentioned already. You have children, you have pregnant lactating women, you have adolescents. So the MyCan strategy focuses on that, but also the emerging evidence is indicating to us that we have now another vulnerable group, the elderly, and so in the revised MyCan, we shall add the elderly.
Which begs yet another question. In a country considered to be a food basket, why is this happening?
We are lucky that in Uganda we are the food basket. We have a lot of food. It just takes you one afternoon going to either a restaurant or even a school, and you see how much food is available. But then there's also the bad nutrition. Too much of anything is always bad. Over-processed food, over-oily foods, those are not good. And you know what people call fast food, the FAST, is usually quickly cooked, quickly prepared. It's not good because it contains a lot of oil, a lot of carbohydrates, and a lot of fat. And if children are not expending that energy that they get from the fast food, they are going to add on weight.
Feeding a child is not just about food, it's about access, knowledge, cost, and sometimes habit. When children don't get the right nutrients, the effects go far beyond hunger. Some children become too short for their age, which is referred to as stunting.
So stunting is height for age, which is less than 3 standard deviations. And it's a marker of extreme starvation. Like you've not been able to attain your maximum height for your age. Simply saying. And you need to understand that there are things that cause short stature, familial short stature. And there are people who are short people or small people. Those are short. There are many syndromes that would make somebody be short. But the stunting we mean is if this person has no abnormalities whatsoever, but the cause of their shortness is because of lack of enough food.
Others lose weight quickly, called wasting.
Normally, stunting starts with underweight. It starts with a child being underweight. When I say underweight or wasted, a child is too small for their height. And still, in most cases, you can't see that from home. It still has someone has to go and do the measurements of the height and the weight, and then you read on the Z scores or the BMI for age scores, and then we can let you know. But in most cases, it starts with being underweight. Again, you're underweight because you are taking in little for what your body really requires.
At the different service levels, with our community health facility, we do routine nutrition assessments. And by this, we just measure your body. Like we take your weight, we take your height, and sometimes we do the walk. So those body measurements are used. We combine them to come up with what we call indices. So by looking at your height, for example, if you're an adult, by looking at your height and weight, we work out a BMI, body mass index, and then we can know your nutrition status. We rank it whether you're okay, normal, overweight, obese. Yeah, it's the same for children, but we will not talk about BMI in children, but we use what we call Z scores. So these are like standards, WHO, World Health, UNICEF standards. But the basics is that we will need to take your measurements, the weight, the height, and then we use that to determine your nutrition status. So that's how we are able to know that this child is stunted, this one is normal, this one is overweight, this one is obese, based on the measurements.
So you need to go to a general medical clinic. For example, where they immunize babies. Those are called well baby clinics or child health centers. Here at Mulago, where we are right now, is the adolescent clinic. And we also do monitoring. We take their weight, we take their height, and then we plot it on a curve. The immunization cards that are given to parents also have a growth chart. Please, parents out there, do not just look at the immunization card and think that it's only for immunization. It contains a lot of information for your child, the growth monitoring or growth faltering for that matter. And if you see that your child is on a straight line, it means they are not growing. If they are growing in a good curve along the growth chart, it means they are growing normally. But if there's a dip in their growth, that means they are losing weight. And if that faltering of weight is very fast, that means there's something wrong. And losing weight rapidly means either that this child has a chronic illness or is not feeding well, or we need to investigate. Or perhaps the food you're giving is not of good value. The balanced diet that we talked about in the first place. Then you need to check, does the child have a chronic illness? Is it a chronic heart disease? Is it tuberculosis? Is it HIV and AIDS? What is it? So for parents, if your child is, their clothes are not fitting anymore, and in the past, parents are very clever. They are still very clever, especially here in the central region. They would make children wear beads around their waists or even around their wrists. And so if the waist band, the beads, are starting to slack and they're falling off, then you understand that the baby is losing weight. If they are tightening and you're increasing on the bead length, then it means your baby is putting on weight in girth. The other one, obviously, is to look at the baby and see that the bones, the zygoma, are falling in, or the ribs are very prominent. Those are things that you can easily see. But in the health center or in the hospital, they will actually take a weight and take a height and monitor and see how the baby is growing. But it's not just the acute weight loss that I would like us to talk about. It's the chronicity of the weight loss that really affects the child. In the hospital, we have something called a MUAC tape that you would pick up and put it on the child. And if you go to the malnutrition unit, you'll be able to see these tools. Because there are red signs, there are danger signs, and then there's a green zone, which is, it's okay, and then there's the orange zone. Just like the way we look at traffic lights, there's a red, there's a orange, and then there's the green. Green is okay. Red is a very dangerous point, and then orange is you're on the edge.
And I also just want to say that stunting is not reversible. It is not reversible. You cannot reverse it. Once your child is stunted, you missed it, and you missed it, period.
And some become overweight from unhealthy diets.
People like to say, oh, my baby is chubby, fat baby is nice baby. But those are not good also, If your baby is obese from the beginning, before the age of 2 years, then that means that the baby is not working. The baby is not doing exercise 30 minutes a day. And so they are storing the rest of the energy as fat cells, as adipose cells. And lo and behold, when that baby grows older, those fat cells are going to redistribute and cause a lot of bulging in places that you don't want to see. So overfeeding children before the age of 5 years is a risk factor for obesity later on in life. And obesity comes with its own challenges. It comes with non-communicable diseases like diabetes, hypertension, osteoporosis, joint pains, Just lack of self-esteem. When a child is obese, they are more likely to be psychologically affected. When a child is morbidly obese, they are going to be teased.
All these are different forms but the same problem: malnutrition. And in Uganda, malnutrition is affecting millions of children, especially in regions like Karamoja, Toro, and vulnerable communities.
As a country, malnutrition remains a serious public health problem or issue. Much as we have made positive strides in bringing the rates down, there is a lot that needs to be done. Actually, when you look back in the decades, I think right from 2010, the rates were as high as up there in 40s. But over the years, over the decades, the government has really done a lot to reduce these rates. So we talk of stunting being at 26, meaning every 1 in 4 children are still stunted. So I still think that is much as we've done some reductions, there's still need that we bring it down to and our target for 2030, I think, is we bring this down to around 19%.
To tackle this growing crisis, the government of Uganda, together with partners like UNICEF, has launched a new initiative, Nutrition for All, with a simple goal: to ensure every child in Uganda has access to a nutritious, balanced diet.
So the main objectives of the campaign Nutrition for All, which is led by the Minister of Health with the support of UNICEF and partners, is to make sure that we all fully understand that malnutrition, undernutrition, as a lot of children in Uganda are suffering from, is not a fatality. We can avoid it. We have in Uganda all resources available. Nature is providing a rich diversity of nutritious food. We need to make sure that that food is being made available in a healthy way to the children of Uganda. So it's a call for all stakeholders, and that starts with parents, over communities, over development partners, government, to make sure that we invest more attention, that we give more attention, that we invest more resources in the prevention of malnutrition, undernutrition, so that we can avoid that afterwards, if children are suffering from malnutrition, we do not have to invest so many resources into the treatment of children that are malnourished.
Indeed, the Ministry of Health applauds UNICEF very much because they have indeed supported the country's nutrition program. Right now, UNICEF is supporting what we call the Egg Powder Initiative for Child Nutrition. We call it EPIC. This is a program being piloted in Kamwenge district. In this program, UNICEF supports the country by procuring egg powder. So we have a local manufacturer of egg powder. So this is egg, like egg that has been processed into powder form, processed and packaged into. So UNICEF is supporting government to procure and distribute egg powder in Kamwenge district. And why Kamwenge? Again, because of the statistics that I shared earlier, the region, Toro region, was ranking highest in terms of stunting rates. And so because of that, we also did we analyzed the other data around the communities. Kamwenge is food secure. It's not like it is in food secure. But the analysis of the data indicated that the children were mainly feeding on mono diets, meaning what? There's no diversity, and especially the lack of animal source foods. So I mentioned posho is there, beans are there, but the animal bit, which I talked about, because the protein quality of the animal source foods is highest, So UNICEF, based on that statistic and based on the background, UNICEF procures egg powder, and we're distributing to targeted children. So it's not the whole district as of now, but there are those pockets in the district where you have the highest malnutrition and also some bit of food insecurity.
Well, one of the key issues that we are pushing for is to make sure that at community level there is a growing awareness of how we can provide to children a proper diet, a nutritious diet. We work with communities, community care groups where parents, mothers are working together to create good behavior with regard to the preparation of nutritious food, so that people do understand at community level how to make sure that children do have the food that they need. Again, the resources are available, the elements are available, food is available at community level. We need to remind people how to prepare it. We need to make sure that there is ownership about it, and that good feeding practices are generalized so that children do not fall into malnutrition.
From rural clinics to national policy, efforts are underway to ensure no child is left behind. Because solving malnutrition takes more than one solution. It takes collaboration. New Vision TV. Stream smart, stream New Vision.